For those people who like to explore, travel to the woods, go on an adventure. If you guys ever come across an abandoned home or any place that you go to, apartment or places that used to be run by people, other fellow humans, you run into them. Just be aware that spirits and entities, all kinds of. Whoa, I'm seeing a being. Whoa, I'm seeing something right now. Wait, hold on. Oh, cool. Check it out. Yeah, there are stray cats that wander through the neighborhood. That's a cute neighborhood cat. Yep, yeah. I live on the neighborhood, so. Yeah, one of my houses is on the a row. Where we have our own yard. Garage, and then there's street. So the cat will hop over the fence. To enter my home area. Yeah, it's so freaking cute. Oh yeah, by the way, cats are my favorite pets. I'm keeping it real. They're my favorite domesticated animals. They're just so adorable. Yeah, I just love hugging them and petting them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, cats are my favorite animals. Just let you know. I used to have a black cat named Danny, but yeah, as a child, but he outgrew his lifespan. I mean, he reached the end of his lifespan, so But I'll tell you what, he led a happy life. That's the thing. Oh yeah, so as I was saying, in this video, when you walk into places, just be aware that abandoned buildings and stuff, or it could be anything, out in nature, even if it's not any building. But I mean, I'm saying where a lot of them hang out before they go into abandoned buildings. When buildings are abandoned by humans and no longer maintained, elemental spirits of all types like to hang out in abandoned buildings. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you ever go into an abandoned building to explore, make sure you show the proper respect to the spirits there. Basically, when you go in there, just say, "Excuse me, I'm just gonna explore this place," and just let them know that you're not gonna. Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say, like when you just show the proper respect when you go into a place. Plus, you don't or you don't have to say anything. Just simply walk in all peaceful, like just walk in like this, and just don't immediately jump to conclusions or. Yeah, because with spirits, you don't really have to talk. Just like, they could just tell if you're respectful by nature or, you know what I'm saying? So just show the proper respect when you go into buildings or something to an area, you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta understand, spirits like to hang out in abandoned buildings. So that's not strange, that's just what they do. If a place has been abandoned by human beings, they'll just make that place their dwelling. They do that all the time, so. That's why without air shafts or any kind of technology or anything to keep the building running, that's why it gets taken over by nature. Like I said, all types of spirits, even elemental spirits. Yeah. Because there are entities also, like fairies and remember they're all invisible to us, but a lot of spirits would try to revert the building back to nature, to give it back to nature, and they'll work together to it's pretty much like building something but reverse. They're purposely turning the building back into nature. Yeah. That's why they go to those buildings when it comes to elementals. But other spirits would just use it as a hangout while the building is still standing. Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say in this video. Remember what I said before. Learn to the importance of having an open mind. You know what I'm saying? It's so that you can't be taken surprised by anything. Yeah, there will be no such thing as strangeness to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I had many encounters with entities, right? But I didn't freak out because I already knew that they existed. I still remember one time when I was chilling, then I saw like a full-length eye come out of nowhere, out of thin air. But I already knew that was just a transformed spirit. That's why I didn't freak out. Yeah, this was like, see, there's many things yeah. And then there was this time when just a demon girl. Let me see here. There's different species of life within our universe, in all the realms of existence. Yeah, basically, let me see here. Oh yeah. There was a time where, how I like to enjoy my harem, and then there are times when I'm by myself. Basically, there was this succubus. Yeah, basically, succubus are attracted to excess spiritual energy. Like, whenever you get off, or when you're getting off, the energy that ciphers from you, the pieces of it. Yeah. There are sex spirits that are attracted to it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, one time when I was chilling in one of my old apartments, and I was just getting off, enjoying my harem. My harem collection. Yeah. Of course, I do it to where where I can make it last for a long time or short. You know, whenever I'm not doing my other hobbies, I'll just choose to enjoy a beautiful female. I remember one time I was visited by a succubus, and she said, "Well, let's see here. When I was visited, you know, every time a spirit visits me, if they don't transform into anything physical of this realm, the other way I'll see them is when I fall into a trance. So I remember I was chilling, and then all of a sudden the spirit visited me. So I project my mind outside my body to talk to the spirit, you know. And she said that she really likes me, because see, with me, I had many females in existence that had a crush on me. It's not just human woman. But anyway, she was a female spirit, and she was one of the demon kind, though. That's the thing. So she said to me, yeah. So she said, a spirit came, and she said, I really do like you. Cause you gotta understand, even if they're attracted to your sex energy that leaves your body, they cannot have full access to your sex energy unless they get your permission. That's just how it is. That's how succubi and succubus work. So she couldn't have full access to me because she had to get my permission for that, right? So she couldn't really. She could only get the piece of me that goes back into the environment every time I get off, like, the pieces of me. So that means that's not like that's not really a joy box, a real thing. She needs the full. So because she basically, how spirits will offer things in exchange. Thing. I will haunt people that mess with you. I will, trying to say they always, yeah, you know what I'm saying. They will give, but they always they will ask for something in exchange. So, but anyway, she had a crush on me. When she showed up, of course I didn't know she was one of the succubus beings. When she showed up, basically she showed herself as a woman. Basically she was a butt naked woman, and the only difference, she had orange skin. Yeah, like instead of the the woman the human woman I like to get off at. She was, but yet it was surprisingly sexy. She was a butt naked orange woman. She had busty boobs, busty butt. She had a perfect curves and all that. And she said, hey, here, film me. I'm like, cool. And I felt her butt cheeks. I'm like, oh, that's hot. And then I looked at her boobs. I said, whoa. I said, dude, you're sexy. She said, thank you. She says, I really like you. And I said, well, let me ask you this. I said this to her. I said, so what species are you? That's what I said. She said, you really want to know? I said, yeah. She said, okay. She got close to my ear. You can remember, at that moment, my mind was out of my body. It was basically just my mental body. You know what I'm saying? It looked like my physical body, but it was just my mental. She whispered in my spirit ear at the time. She said, I'm a succubus. And then I said to her, oh, okay. I said, wow. So you're one of the demons. Okay, cool. Anyway, I'm not interested because we're two different species. And then she said, I'm a human, you're a spirit, you're a demon, So, but this goes for all spirits. It doesn't matter if a spirit is a heavenly being, a beings of earth, or a demon, the demons, you know what I'm saying? I don't discriminate really. So basically, I told her that we're different species. So therefore I turned my back as I was heading back to my physical body. Here's the cool thing. When you're in spirit mode, you just do things by instinct. I didn't even know how I left my body in the first place, and then all of a sudden I just went back just because I wanted to go back. Cause when I go back, I just know how to get back, but no one ever taught me that. It's just, how did I see? When your mind is projecting beyond your body, you would just know things by instinct. That's all I can say. So I just knew to head back, even though I didn't know how I did that. See, it's so cool when you think about it. But yeah, anyway, she when I said, sorry, we're two different species, I'm not interested. And then, so I said, you have a nice day, demon girl. And then as I turned back to walk, she said, no! Then she latched on to me, my mental body, right? And then she became all murky liquid to where I couldn't shake her off. I was using my physical strength to shake her off. And then I was like, okay, like, yeah, this is one of my many experiences in the past, And I said, I was using my strength, I couldn't get her off because she was like pretty much like all part of her body was becoming all mucus like, to where I couldn't it's like murky water. I couldn't take her off. And then I said, oh, wait a minute, I forgot. In the spirit world, things I can't use my physical strength like I do when I'm in, when I'm fully awake on Earth, in my physical body. That's right. This is the mental plane. All I have to do is imagine something. So basically, what I did was I imagined going Super Saiyan from Dragon Ball Z. I said, ha! And then it manifested in reality, and she got flung off like this, and she got thrown back, like far, like to the edge of the room, right? She got thrown back because I was in my room during that time. I was just outside my body, projecting my body. So she got flung off of me, and because of what I imagined, it became reality. And then after that, I went back to after that I woke up completely in my on this realm, my physical body. Yeah, see, that's one of my experiences with spirits. But yeah, but basically, yeah, she had a crush on me, but I rejected her because she's a demon. I'm a human. You know, she's a spirit. I'm a human. It's not just a demon thing. It's like, what if you're a different species? I don't see a reason to date them. You know, not even a god and goddess, and they're higher than the angels. You know what I'm saying? Of the heavens. Yeah, because end of the day, I'm a human. They're just a different species. Yeah. Yep. Even though gods are a type of humans are a type of god because we're just of this realm, Earth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But society's not gonna tell you that we're actually gods. Oh yeah. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say in this video. So yeah, yeah, yeah. I rejected succubus, and she probably would have offered me something in exchange, but I just didn't take it because, like I said, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I rather just enjoy my sexual energy for myself. That's the thing. That's why yeah, yeah. Like when I enjoy my harem collection, you know, my veils and folos. I love, like I said, I love my collection. I prefer that to real women, not just spirit females, human females. Yeah, yeah. Because you gotta understand, the only real reason to get with an Earth woman, a human woman, if is to make babies. But think about it. Do you really want to bring children into a world system like this? Exactly. That's why I refuse to have babies with human women. And because I'm not gonna use them to have children by choice, then why have anything to do with them? Exactly. Like I said, I prefer my harem over getting with them because my harem, dude, they have the best females in existence, you know. But also, there are risks with getting into a relationship with women. Because we gotta understand, women are average slept around with different dudes. There's no telling what kind of sexual diseases they got, or not only that, where have their mouth been? It's not just their vagina. Exactly. It's like you never know. So it's like, what else? And the risk that comes with them because remember, society used them as a trap to steal wealth and resources from men. I'm among the richest in existence. You know, I say I'm among because there's more people like me out there. There's more men like me out there, but I'm actually among the richest. And no matter how rich I get, I stay humble. Because I'm fully aware that it's not the riches that make me. It's me that makes me complete. The riches are just meant to be enjoyed, but not, not base your worth off of. Understand that, okay? That's the difference. That's why I feel no need to show it off to the public. No matter how rich I get, I'm gonna always keep my riches a secret and enjoy it in secret. And when I go out and about, I'm gonna just like, yeah, I'm gonna say reserved to myself. Exactly. Anyway, yeah, yeah. So that's the important thing. So yeah, what was I talking about earlier? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Cause with your own harem, like, dude, you get to enjoy a female fully without having to give anything in exchange. That's the thing. Yeah, your own harem collection. You can enjoy them fully. You don't have to satisfy someone else. You know, it's just yourself only. Dude, how cool is that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I said, we get to, yeah, and then we get to do our hobbies, play video games, draw, go for a run, work out, lift weights, We could do anything a man wants to do in his man space. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So freaking cool. Yeah, what the many benefits of all of that. Exactly, man. And meditate, like train, you know what I'm saying? Like martial arts, you know what I'm saying? Martial arts, training, learning things about you know what I'm saying? So, dude, there's so many things a man could do. Like, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the reason why we men are happy on our own is because men by nature are the embodiment of positivity. Because the positivity is nowhere for the light, and the light is masculinity as well. So remember, the positive molecule, masculine, the negative molecule, feminine. Positive controls negative in natural order. One side controls the other, like I said many times. Yeah, the cool thing about being a man is that we're literally positive beings. Why do you think the world system tries to make us drive us crazy growing up? They try to lie to us. And then it caused, they would condition us to think we had no self-control from birth. So that way we would get ourselves in trouble without, well, we won't be aware of it that much because we've been deceived to thinking that we can't control ourselves. Yeah, yeah, there's a reason why society tries to raise men negatively, disrespect males, and because they don't want us to inherit our true nature. Positivity. Yep, our positivity has nothing to do with others. It's just our own existence. But how many men actually realize that? Of course, because a lot of men are fooled by the world system, so yeah, the system is designed to keep y'all from realizing your true nature. Understand that, fellow males out there, my brothers out there? Just be aware of your true nature, otherwise you would never not be deceived. So be aware of your true nature. if you can, become aware, okay? Yeah, so anyway, before I close the video, I want to make sure I finish my story. Let me see. I think I finished it, but, yeah. The importance of, being open-minded, like I said, because there won't be anything that takes you by surprise. And just be aware of that. It's men and boys out there, and cause you boys will turn into men one day. Just be aware it's not just human women that will have a crush on you. There are other species of spirits that like you too. Yeah. But just remember, there's always something, you risk if you, give a spirit something. Basically, if you give it permission, like, it depends on the species too. Like, there are things that will happen in exchange. Basically, if you allow them, they will, like, their presence could cause shifts in the reality around you. That's why I say it's kind of risky. Like, you could befriend a spirit if you want, but I'm just saying, like, just be aware that just research some spirits. Some spirits will be a risk to have around, like, while others, it just depends on what species they are. Yeah. I'm not just talking about heavenly beings, angels, gods, goddesses, or the demon realm, demons, yokai, all kinds of spirits, or degems, the ordinary spirits of Earth who live here with us, who have nothing to do with the heavenly or demon realm. Yeah, they're just like in between, and there's, just remember, because like I said, just be aware that we're different species, so that's why it's good to be separated. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about the balance. If you get involved with a spirit is part of the makeup of reality. So you're getting involved. They're going to cause all kinds of supernatural things to happen if you get, because even acknowledging them. I remember one time, this was like, one time I even said to a random spirit, I said, show yourself, and then later they manifested something happened that normally wouldn't happen. And I said, see, this is the reality of why I shouldn't talk to your spirit, give it free attention, because then they'll do something that normally wouldn't happen. Things will happen that normally wouldn't happen. Because there's no telling how they will reveal themselves. You gotta understand that. But just to be aware, people, how spirits work and how things are in reality. The perceived world and the invisible world. Oh yeah, that's right. Instead of learning to see everything from a perceived mindset, learn to see everything from an open mindset. Just be aware that things exist beyond the human sight, and just simply, just know that there are possibilities. So thus, you are never taken by surprise if any entity wants to mess with you, because they like to mess with a lot of humans. Oh yeah, it may drive a human crazy. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say in this video. Oh yeah. Anyway, peace.